If you don't have the workbook, if you haven't printed it out, just make sure you take notes, because I'm going to give you a ton of information, and I want you to still have access to that information once we get out of this training. Okay, so let me go ahead to the first slide. So welcome you all. Anybody else who's just joining us, just go ahead and leave your name and where you're from in the comments so that I can get to know you guys and get to know more about who you are and where you're from, and tell me a little bit about your brand if you want. I'm seeing all the comments, so you can definitely share in there. So I only have one rule as we go through this training, and that is to turn off all distractions. So close your browsers, put your phone on silent, just so you can have this moment to really go deep into this content, and also to really just give yourself that time to really take in all of the information that you're going to get in this training. So I want to thank you all for being here. I know that you could be doing any other thing, and to take this time out of your day. This is going to be about an hour training. I've been practicing it to make sure I can keep it under an hour, and so I don't take up too much of you guys' time. But I thank you guys for being here and for joining me. And so this training is for you if you currently offer or plan to offer coaching or consulting services, or if you have any digital courses or products, or if you are looking to start speaking, or you just want to sell more. So this is a perfect training for that. I'm going to give you the tools to be able to do that. And this is also for you if you want to create more opportunities where you can really go after the things that you want, and really be available for other opportunities in your niche or in your industry. This is a training that's going to teach you how to become more visible so that you can engage the right audience and build more connections. So this is also for you if you want to create a highly engaged community and grow your influence. So I want you guys to stick around to the end, and I'll tell you more about this. This will all make more sense once you complete the training. And if I tell you about it now, it just won't make any sense to you. It will totally make more sense at the end. So I want you to stick around, because I'm only going to show this to the people that are who have signed up for this webinar. So you get to see all of this information. So I want you guys to share in the comments. This is going to be pretty interactive, guys. So get ready to share a little bit and answer some questions, and just, engage with each other and talk to each other in these comments. This is a great way to start making your own connections. So I want to know if you've built a brand that showcases your product or services. Answer yes or no in the comments. And if you have, I want to know if you're happy with the income that you've made. Okay, so if you have started building your brand, are you happy with any income that you've made? Or if you haven't made an income, share that as well. And if you're not, I want to know what's stopping you. And if you answered no to the first question, that you haven't built your brand yet or haven't started building a brand to showcase your product and services, I want to know what's stopping you as well. So share those into the comments, and I will read them. So these are some of the things that are definitely a fear. Some of the reasons that stop us from actually being more visible and actually putting ourselves out there is around fear. It's around a fear of being visible, a fear of being vulnerable. And so the truth is, a lot of us carry those fears, and it's a normal thing. It is a very normal thing. I've had to struggle with fear as of being visible, of putting myself out there, of sharing my story. And so I know, I totally get it. And I've learned over time that the fears that people have around being visible usually tend to fall into 3 categories. And I call them the visibility fears. And there's 3 that typically come up. They come in many shapes and sizes, but eventually it usually is around these 3. And the first one is, I feel embarrassed about the way that my brand looks. So a lot of people aren't being visible because they don't feel like their brand is designed well. The website looks as professional as someone else's. They did it themselves or whatever, and they feel like I don't feel comfortable putting myself out there because I don't look professional. I don't look the part. Another one is I don't know what to post on social media. And this is a big one. I mean, I've struggled with this. I know many people who have struggled with this as to what exactly do I post on social media, and get so wrapped up in their heads that they just, don't know what to post anymore. And the last one is they don't want people to think that they're being salesy online. And this probably is the number one. And so people don't know. People are always worried about being salesy. I know I was always worried about being salesy. I was always sharing content, sharing free stuff. But when it came to me telling people about my offers, I was a little fearful of that, because I'm like, well, what if people think I'm just on here trying to, take their money? So I want to know, what about you? How has any of these three things ever affected how much you put yourself out there, or affected you really putting yourself out there and telling people about who you are and what you do, and sharing your services and offers? So all three of these have been something that I've dealt with for sure. At somewhere within my, growing my brand, I have struggled with these things. And I'm going to tell you more about this. So in these are my profits for like the past 2 years, right? And so in 2015, I was doing real well in business. And then in 2016, things just took like a dive. Like, I got so caught up in these fears that my income truly suffered for it. And that's why I want to talk to people about this, because I know that this fear of visibility and putting yourself out there and being seen and really sharing your story. Yeah, there you go. She says, I'm worried about the way my brand looks as well. Yep. I know that people struggle with this. Like, this is a common thing. Thanks for sharing, Shireen. But yeah, this is a very common thing. When I first got started, I was scared to share my brand. And I actually design websites. And I was still self-conscious, so sometimes it's just a thing that is happening in our heads that we just allow to take over. But I'm going to show you how you can really break through that. So in 2016, my profits took a dive because of these fears. And, I started my business in 2015 while I was on maternity leave. And so I was working in a job. I did end up going back to work right after maternity leave. And I was building my business, raising a new baby, and working a job. And my business was doing great. It took off really quickly. I was, making money. I was making consistent money every month. And then I was able to leave my job within 10 months. And in 2016, once I left my job, the loss of that income, that cushion that kind of made me feel comfortable to kind of put myself out there and try new things, because I knew I had a cushion of income. When that was gone, this fear set in. Like, I started to worry about, well, will I make money next month? Well, how will what happens if I don't make money? And those fears and those concerns held me back and stopped and kept me from really making any money. So this photo is from me in 2016 after I left my job. I had been working. This is the summer of 2016. So I left my job in April of 2016. And this was the summer. And here's my vision of when I left my job, was that I'd be able to spend more time with my son. I'd be able to do more things that I enjoyed. I'd be able to, go out and see the sunlight and not have to worry about being in an office or a cubicle or whatever. And here I was sitting at, my desk all day, working 16 hours, stuff sprawled over my desk, and probably reworking my website 100 times. And I told myself that you cannot have another year like this. I was so disappointed in what had happened in 2016 that I told myself this could not be what 2017 looked like. And so I became obsessed with being visible. I wanted to be visible as much as possible. I wanted to learn all that I could learn about being visible, so that I didn't have another year like this of a 25% drop in income. So I surrounded myself with the best, and I studied what they did. I studied the best strategies. I learned how to leverage my brand, my social media, and my image so that I could stand out and so that I could be visible. And I really made, I went all in. I made the investments. I, surrounded myself with 6-figure, 7-figure women. I mean, women who were making 5-figure months, like it was nothing, like it was just super easy and simple for them. And they weren't worried about next month not making money, or, not putting myself out there. So I studied them. I wanted to know what they were doing. I interviewed people. I talked to them. I called people up, and I got to know as much as I could about what they were doing. And these were some of the, ways that I was just being visible. I went to events. I did speaking engagements. I hired the best mentors. I really took a stand for what I wanted. And I also, let myself live more, no more sitting at the desk for 16 hours. I let myself travel. I let myself do certain things and like really enjoy the life that I dream of having. Right. And so in 2017, my income took a real spike, and I started to do way better in my business, and really skyrocketed in terms of my profit. And so this is my income from the last 6 months. After studying these women, and after, learning as much as I could and testing things and trying things, in May, I hit, my first big income month. This is my first 5-figure month. And then in June and July, I kind of just try to testing things. I want to know exactly how I did this. I want to perfect this method. I want to know exactly what I did so that I can do this again and again and again. And so after trying it a few times, and in June I was making money, and in July I was making money, and this was still significant, because even though it wasn't a 5-figure, it was still great to have consistent income, right? Because in 2016, there were months where I had no income at all. So I was happy that I was starting to make consistent money again. And then in August, I hit a big month again. And then I felt like I had really figured out what it was that the key things that were helping me to do this. And I replicated it, and I did it again in September, and I did it again in October. And so instead of focusing on building a huge following, I focused on building an adoring following. And this was the big thing that really shifted things for me. Instead of really just trying to build a list and build a following, I started to connect with people, and I stopped allowing myself to be busy and working so many hours, and really just allowed myself to be human, and to just share my story and share my life and connect with people in a relatable and trusting way, so that they can get to know me and get to know who I am and what I do. And so I called this framework that I put together the 5 steps to brand visibility. So this is a brand visibility framework. And being visible doesn't just work on its own. If you want to get massive results from your efforts, the secret is to have a clear blueprint, and that effortlessly attracts leads while you focus on just being yourself. And that is the ideal situation you want to be in, where you can just be yourself, and you're making money just from being you, right? That seems so effortless and so, rewarding. It's just way more fulfilling when you don't feel like you have to try so hard. You don't feel like you have to put on this persona in order to have the success that you want. So this is how you make money with your brand. So I'm gonna go through the 5 steps, and the 5 steps are brand clarity, brand identity, brand social, brand design, and brand image. And I'm going to show you exactly how all of these fall into place. So in this training, you're going to discover the 3 strategies that you must have in place to consistently bring in ideal clients and customers who are ready to buy again and again. So you want to have clients and customers who are ready to buy. And I'm going to show you exactly how you do that. And we'll also go into step 2 in the brand identity step to learn how to create a visual brand your ideal audience can't resist. And this is even if you're not a designer, even if you don't have an eye for design, I can tell you exactly how you can do this. The 3rd step, which is the brand social step, we're going to talk about how you can create 30 days worth of content with ease, month after month, that builds your credibility and attracts your tribe. We'll also talk about how to design an online presence that is aligned with your strategy and brings in consistent cash, and you can do it in 7 days. And I know that, a lot of people get wrapped up in the design, especially when they're starting out. They want the best website and the best everything, but I can tell you exactly how you can do this in 7 days instead of sitting at your computer for 3 months trying to design a website for yourself. So the last step we'll talk about is the brand image step, and we'll talk about how to build a personal style and image that allows you to show up as your best and most authentic self and always on brand. So I'm going to show you a friend of mine. This is Heidi Stevens, who is a friend of mine. And in June, Heidi had a 40K month. And this is one of the women that, you know, I met over the past year who, you know, I've surrounded myself with and been able to pick her brain and really study some of the things that she was doing. Now, this framework is one that I created, and I've based it off of the interviews and the studies that I've done of people, and also implementing it and testing it within my business. So you guys don't have to worry about trying to test this out. It's already been tested. And this is also another friend of mine, Maxine Winery, who had a 10K week last month. And, you know, these women are really killing it and really, you know, putting themselves out there and sharing their story. I mean, Maxine has an amazing story. And, you know, that is how they're relating and connecting and finding their tribe, because no one has your story. No one else has your story. And so just in case these numbers intimidate you, I want to tell you about a client of mine who's Marie Daniel. She's a personal stylist. And when we started working together, she went from 0 income in her business to 7 weeks later having a promotional offer that brought in $8,000. So I'm saying that you can start from anywhere. You don't have to have been doing this for many years in order to see some results. You can start having results within, you know, a short period of time. And I want to also show you this doesn't have to just work for, you know, people with an online business. So this is a client of mine. I typically work with women, but, you know, occasionally you meet someone who has such an amazing story and is so passionate about what they want to do that I couldn't pass him up. So he started with no social media presence and grew a following of 5,000 and was able to book 4 speaking opportunities within 60 days. So Rudolph Brown is a dentist and wanted to, with an amazing story, who really wants to talk to young men and help them to see a bigger future for themselves and see a bigger dream for themselves. And I just loved what he was doing. I loved his message. I loved his story. And so he was able to do this in a short amount of time because people loved his story too. And they wanted to hear what he had to say, and they were willing to book him right away. So you have to find that thing about you that makes you different from people. So imagine that being your results. Imagine you having, you know, that kind of momentum in with your brand, and really attracting those kind of opportunities within your brand and making those kind of sales, because it's not just about the money, it's also about the impact, right? We want to become influential so that we can have impact in the world. And, you know, this is a way that these people were doing it, and they're doing it their own way. You know, I show you 2 women who are both coaches. They're both business coaches, right? Those are my two friends that I showed you are both business coaches, and yet they're very different, and they attract a different tribe, and they do that by being who they are. And so where do we start with this? So I want to start with the 3 strategies. And I call these strategies the 3 magnetic strategies, because this is the foundation of everything else. The other 4 steps cannot work without these 3 magnetic strategies. And so the first strategy is your brand positioning strategy. And your brand positioning focuses on your message, your story, and your visual style. So I wanted to show you the 2 clients that I showed you. I showed you their visual style, and I told you a little bit about their message and their story, because that's the core of what made the difference for them, right? Your message is, no one's going to have your message, and no one's going to have your story. And I gave you even an example of that with myself, as I talked about in the beginning, that I started my business in 2015 while I was on maternity leave. And I gave you the whole story of me, you know, doing well, and then having a year where I didn't do as well, and where I had more time and I had more, you know, income. I had money from my business that, you know, in all intents and purposes, most people would think that you would be doing better. And that's a vulnerable story. Like, I have to share with you that I wasn't doing as well as I expected. and how I turned it around. That is my story. And that is how you share, you attract the right people and get the attention of people by sharing that story, you know, and it's important to be able to do that. And so in the last two examples that I showed you with my clients, I showed you their brand mood boards, because these are two clients that do not have websites. Okay, so I'm showing you that they were able to achieve this without a website done. We hadn't even gotten to designing their website. That was way down the line. One of them still doesn't have a website right now. We're still working on it. So this was what they started with. They started with just the basic stuff and really creating a visual style from that. So tell me, on a scale of 1 to 10, how passionate are you about your brand story? So I want to know, how passionate are you about your brand story? Because we know that that is a big element of your brand strategy, right? And you want to have a story that really stands out. So how passionate are you about your story? How comfortable are you sharing it? So the next strategy is the consistent content strategy. And to create consistent content, I recommend that you do weekly content, because that is content that your audience will learn to depend on. You know, as you start to build your audience, you want them to have a place that they can go to always get content from you and always get fresh stuff and really feel that connection and build that trust. Consistent content will build credibility and trust and will ultimately build your tribe. So this image is a photo from my live show that I do on my Facebook page. So I don't have a blog, and some people choose to blog. So consistent content doesn't necessarily have to mean a blog. It could be a podcast. It could be a live show. It could be a recorded. It could be a YouTube channel. You know, it doesn't have to be a live show. It could be recorded. You know what I mean? So figure out how you're going to create consistent content that people can learn to expect from you. So I create my live show every week, and that also gives me something to send to my list every week. So any of you who are on my list who, you know, receive emails from me every week, you know that you get an email about this show every Friday. And that's what people can learn to expect. You know, they expect that my show is going to be on Wednesday, and that if they didn't catch it, they'll get an email about it on Friday. And that is part of the lead generation part. So getting the email every Friday is part of building your lead generation strategy. So your weekly content sets a tone for people trusting you with their email. And you want people to think like, okay, if this is the free stuff that, you know, she's putting out in a podcast or a YouTube channel, then I wonder I'm sure that the stuff that she has that you have to opt in for are even better, or even her paid stuff is even better than that. So you want people to you want to create an experience for your clients and customers. You want them to definitely like know what to expect from you, and that is how you build that trust, by creating that consistent content. So Kristen asks, how long does it take to build that trust and credibility? Well, it all depends on what kind of content you put out. So if you're putting out weekly valuable content, it can happen very quickly. What I have learned though is that video and live video builds trust and credibility very quickly. And it's the main reason why I chose to do a video show. It's one of the reasons, but for me personally, I find that I'm better on video than if I'm like trying to write. I feel like I write pretty well, but if I had to be consistent with something, it probably wouldn't be writing a blog post every week, and it probably wouldn't be recording a podcast every week. So weekly live shows, I have the most energy. I like to engage with people. I like to talk to you guys and like really answer questions and have a conversation. And that is as close to a face-to-face as you can get online. So when people can engage with you face-to-face, it helps to really build that trust very quickly and that credibility very quickly when you can answer their questions right away. And so when you start to build your lead generation strategy, and this is the valuable free content that builds your email list. So these are a few of my opt-ins that people have, that I've sent out over the couple years that I've been in business. The most recent one is the Acts of Influence that you see at the bottom corner. But all of these have been opt-ins that people have signed up for and have done very well. So they do better as I've been creating free content. So the more people, are on my free stuff and hate, she said, I hate being on camera. I know, but it's one of, I'm telling you, it's like one of the best ways. And I know, she said, Kristen says, I'm working on the mindset block there. Also putting out my face in general because I don't have the professional look selfie brand pics. And we're going to get to that, Kristen. I'm going to tell you more about that so that you can work your way through that. And so I want you to take a guess. How many times does someone need to engage with your brand to take action? Okay. People have to see your stuff a few times. And as Kristen asks, how do you build trust and credibility? How quickly does it take how long does it take to build trust and credibility? People have to see your content a few times. It's not just a one and done. You can't put out something today and then don't put out anything else for 3 months, because 3 months is like a year in in internet time. So you want to definitely be consistent, and people have to engage with your content at least 7 times before they take action. So if you have an opt-in, if you have free content and you're saying, okay, sign up for my freebie, right? 7 times of seeing that before they actually do it. So you want to have enough content out there that people are seeing you constantly and seeing you in a consistent way. And I'm going to show you how you can do that without overwhelming yourself, because that sounds like you kind of got to be active away all the time. But think about it. Weekly content is only 4 pieces of content a month. That's not a whole lot. It's not like I'm saying you have to be, create content every day of the month. You just have to create 4 pieces, and you can do that at one time. So the next step is creating a visual brand. So there's 2 ways that you can do this. These are the 2 options that, are out there. You have Canva, which is the free option, and you have Adobe Creative Cloud, which is the paid option, right? And more professional one. But I'm telling you that you don't necessarily have to know how to use Creative Cloud, and you don't have to buy anything expensive in order to create your own visual identity. So I'm not saying that you have to go out and use this to create a whole website, but you can definitely create a visual identity with either one of these and still look professional. So on the next slide, I'm going to show you some designs that were done in both Canva and Adobe. And I want you to tell me which ones you think was done in which. So these are some brand boards and mood boards that I've done for clients. Some business cards you see at the bottom, 6, 7, and 8 are business cards. And I want you guys to share which ones you think have actually been done in Adobe. I'm telling you, these all look pretty professional and pretty well done. These are graphics that I share online. These are graphics that are on my website. And I did these in both. It all depends on which one I use. So numbers 1 and 2, I did in Canva, right? And so those 2 mood boards I did in Canva. Number 3 and number 5, I did in Adobe. And look at those. Like, you can't even tell the difference that I did either one in which. So number 4, I did in Canva, and all 3 of those business cards at the bottom were done in Canva. All of them were done in Canva. The only one in number 8 where you see, this is my business card that you see floating like that. The mock-up that I used, I did that in Photoshop, but the actual card itself was designed in the card itself is designed in Canva. So Canva, someone, Kristen asked, how tech savvy is Canva? Canva is very tech savvy. If you have never used, if you are not the most techie of things, Canva is the simplest way to go. I'm telling you, I use both. I know how to use Photoshop really well, but I use Canva a lot of the time because it's just quicker. It's quick, it's fast. They have a lot of templates for you to use. They already have some fonts in there. And if you decide to upgrade to Canva for Work, which is a paid, is the paid version, which is about like $13 or $14 a month, which is still cheaper than Adobe. You get even more features that make it even simpler. They have photos in there, stock photos that you can use. They have other elements that you can use, shapes and, icons and infographics, all types of stuff that you can create in Canva. And you don't have to, you can create your Instagram posts, you can create all your social media posts, workbooks. I've done it all in Canva. So I just want to, even some of those opt-ins that you saw of mine a few slides back, those were done in Canva. So it is very easy to use. It is very user-friendly. You got to play around with it a little bit, but you can definitely work it out. So another thing I want to point out is when you're in the beginning stages, if you're just trying to build your brand right now, your website is not the most important thing, especially when you're trying to create that relationship and a crushworthy brand. When you create a website and you haven't built relationships with people, it's going to be hard to drive that traffic to your website. So if you don't have a website, you don't have to worry about that. That's not like the most important thing to have. But what I showed you in the previous slide, as I showed you these brand elements, what this did for the clients that I did these for was help them to get an idea of, the tone of their brand, how they wanted to be perceived, what type of energy they wanted to bring to their brand. It gave them some colors to start with, so they can start, playing around with different. They can start playing around with different colors as they share on social media, and it all looks cohesive and still looks like it's their, their brand, even though they don't have a full-out website. If they don't have a full-out website, and this also helps when it comes to building a website or developing your personal style. This is all integrated because the mood board is really about your personal brand. It's about who you are and sharing, elements of you and, things that represent you. So it helps to have a mood board, and that's where I would start when it comes to developing your brand identity. So in step 3, we're going to talk about, we're at the brand social step. We're talking about how to create 30 days worth of content with ease every month that builds your credibility with your tribe. So I know this is the most exciting part. People want to know how to create content every month and make it easy. And, this is one of the things that people fall back on because they don't know what to post, or they just think it takes a lot of time to be consistent with it. So this is a snapshot, a screen grab from an app that I use for my Instagram. It's called Unum. I don't know if any of you know this app, but it's very similar to like Planoly and a lot of these other apps. But what I like about it is that I can plan my content ahead of time. I literally sit like one day out of the month and plan my content. I know what I'm going to be posting throughout the month. Now, you also have like Instagram stories and stuff, which you have to plan, which you have to do on the day of, because they only allow you to use photos that you've taken within the last 24 hours. But your Instagram feed can be anything. So some of these photos I haven't even posted yet. And this is why I'm showing you this, because I want you to see that, I plan these things out. So I create themes for my social media. This is a big step. I create themes for my social media, and these themes are how I bridge my brand with my audience. So how do I share what I do and what, is important to my brand and what I have to offer in a way that my audience will care about it. You know what I mean? And so I mix up the content with things that they could relate to. So although you see my mood board here, these are templates that I've created. I created them in Canva, just using the Canva, the Instagram square and I just wrote these words inside. And so I post these in here almost as a placeholder. So I know like what my next post is going to be. So this is a tip that you guys can use if you want to, if you ever use a planner like this, just, you know, as you create your themes, and I have about 9 themes. And this last one here, you see the quote, that's like a quote theme. So I have 9 themes that as I post one, I move the box to the next one. And so I just keep on going and keep on posting. So I never have to guess what I should post next. It becomes easy. So I have like my mood board, my video production, workspace, personal style, which is all related to my business, right? But there's other things that are not, like books that I you know, want to share with people, you know, lifestyle images, maybe just me, you know, in my regular life. And also I'm on a weight loss journey, if you could say. I'm on a weight loss journey, trying to change some of my eating habits. So I'm sharing that story as well on social media, and, you know, trying to get my sexy mom body. So you see that says mom bod. So it's like all of these are my themes for how I connect to my audience, and how they can begin to relate to me as well. And I think that that's one of the things that has created a real boost in my engagement and all those things. So another thing, and I mentioned this earlier, was that if you want to create it consistently, batch your social media content, batch all of your content. So I'm showing you a picture on the side of my, so I'm showing a picture on the side of my editorial calendar, which is where I plan all of my live show videos. So I plan those all ahead of time too. Remember, I said that you're going to create weekly content. You create, I create all 4. I know what I'm posting in each month, and so I can plan them all ahead of time. So here's how you can talk about your services and your offers without feeling really salesy and pitchy. So I know that was one of the issues that a lot of people can feel like they're being salesy. So one of them, so these are 2 posts that I posted up. So this first one is actually one that I posted yesterday, and I just put it right in here. So it's kind of an indirect post. It's telling you what's going on for me in that day. I'm saying that I had a very productive morning. I spent the day at a coffee house, finalizing the touches of my slides for the masterclass coming your way tomorrow. So it's telling them about the masterclass, but it's also sharing, you know, little bits about my life, like how I prepared for it, and, you know, running through the last minute stages of preparing a masterclass. And the other one is a quote, which people love quotes on Instagram. Quotes do very well on Instagram, but in the captions, I didn't even write a full out caption. I just had a hashtag, and in the but on the bottom of the post, it had the link to where people could sign up. So it doesn't have to always be like in your face, sign up for my thing. It can still be, you know, something that still gives value, something that is still entertaining, and, you know, people can relate to and engage with. So we're on the 4th step, and that is how to design an online presence that is aligned with your strategy and brings in consistent cash in 7 days. So the first thing is you want to have a seductive sales page. If you have nothing else on your website, if you don't have a website at all, the one thing that you want to have is a sales page that people can see what your paid offer is. And these are a few sales pages that I have designed along with my team for a few of our clients. But sales pages is definitely a must. Even if you have a website, if you don't have a way for people to see what you have and see what you're offering, this is definitely a step that you want to have. The second thing you want to have is an irresistible lead magnet, right? So the reason why I put the sales page first is because your lead magnet you want your lead magnet to relate to your offer. And this is how you attract loyal buyers. This is key. How you attract loyal buyers is not only just building that relationship with them, building that trust and credibility, but having a free offer that is related to your paid offer. So when you have that, you already know these people are interested in what your offer is. So when you go to pitch that, when you go to tell them about it, it doesn't feel salesy. You're actually just giving them what it is that they're looking for and what it is that they want. Thing that you want to have is an optimized landing page. So as you if you have a website, you can optimize this on your home page, which, when people go to your home page, they can click on something or they get a pop-up box that allows them to download whatever your freebie is or sign up for it. And so you want to have this for your lead magnet. So remember, your lead magnet wants to relate to your paid offer, your free gift that you're giving away. You want it to relate to your paid offer, so that when people sign up, you already are building a list of targeted fans who are really interested in what you have to offer, right? So when you're giving them something free, that never feels salesy. And when you tell them, when they want to take it another step, your offer is the next step for them. So those are the three things. And honestly, you can do those things in 7 days. And I know that people can take months to create websites. And I've seen people take months to create websites and still don't have these three things in place. And I think these are the first and most important things that you should have in place before you go into building your website. Or as you're building your website, you can have those things already up while you're building your website on the back end, so that you always have something to send your audience to, somewhere to send them something that they will be interested in. So this is the last step, and this is how to build your personal style and allow you to show up as your best self. So the number one reason women say that stops them from being seen online is feeling self-conscious about how they look in photos and videos. And I think Kristen shared that earlier about not having a professional look and feeling self-conscious about being in photos and videos. So I know this is like a big thing that people are really afraid to do. So that's why step 5 is a way for you to always show up and feel comfortable and feel professional, even if you don't have professional photos, and even if you don't have the best of the best, you can still show up and still look your best and feel your best and feel confident. And this is really about helping you feel confident to go out there and put yourself out there. And yeah, so if you're willing to put time and money into creating a visually appealing website or write emotional copy to attract your clients, you know how important appearance is to building trust and credibility. We can't get away from it. And as much as we like to feel, we would love to believe that people don't, judge appearances. We know that they do. And that's why I still say that brand identity is important. Even though the website isn't the most important thing, having some sort of visual style or some sort of visual appeal is important, because that's just how the mind works, and that's just how we are as humans. We are attracted to pretty things. And so you want to attract people in that way. So once you've already got the expertise, and once you have the image that speaks to your clients and the knowledge of how it works, you can take your business to new heights. So the way that I recommend you do this is with a branded capsule wardrobe. And this is what I do. I don't have I'm not telling you to go tear down your closet and throw everything out and create something new. I'm just telling you, maybe you have a few pieces, a capsule, maybe 10 to 20 pieces that you use when you're going live on video or when you're taking photos. They can be when you decide to do your photo shoot or a professional photo shoot. You have items that are related to your brand. And that's why in the brand identity phase, where we talk about the mood and the tone of your brand and why that's important to have even before you have a website, is because it also helps with this. This is also you building a brand even before you have all of the shiny things. You know what I'm saying? You can start to position your brand and position your style and really create a branded capsule wardrobe, which doesn't have to be expensive and doesn't have to, you know, mean that you change your entire style. It's still a part of your style. It's still a part of who you are. And you want to always be showing up as your best self. So these are images of people, sorry, my throat just got really dry. These are a few people who I've, who I know and who I admire online, who I think do this very well. So Kimberly Luna is a business strategist online, and this is her look. This is how she is all the time. She has the blue hair. She has like this punk rock look, and this is very her and who she is. And she's not trying to be anyone else but herself. And this allows her to stand out. People are attracted to her look because it's like, wow, she's just really just going for it. Like, she doesn't care what anyone thinks. She's going to do her own thing. And the second person is Todd Herman. He is a mentor of mine who he shows up like this all the time. This is why I wanted to share this photo, because he's in a suit and tie regardless. He doesn't typically wear ties, but he's in a suit and these glasses. Like, this is his look, whether he's online taking photos or whether he's walking down the street. Like, he looks like this. And this is also a friend of mine, Christy Carden, who this is her doing a photo shoot, and this is her at a speaking engagement. And I think these are pretty much the same dress, just in a different color, but this is her look. And when she does a lot of live video, and when she does live video, I can tell you this photo of her, this is exactly how she looks on live video, you know? So I'm giving you examples of people who do this very well and really allow themselves to stand out and just be themselves and have fun and, you know, showcase the things, express themselves in just different ways and just have fun with it and not really try to do it any other way and think that they have to look like anyone else. So tell me, what did you think of that? Let me see what these comments are. I know a few of you have been posting some comments in here. So Iman said, my website's pretty successful, regular articles with over 200K shares, but I am having trouble turning that into social media growth. Oh, wow. So this, what the step that I shared in step 3 about, you know, how to really create consistent content on social media would be very helpful for you. So lots of great info. I took so many notes. I have lots of work to do. Oh, I'm gonna help you out with that in a minute. So Kristen said she definitely needed this part. I think you were talking about the social media part. Yeah, I know that the social media things, when we're getting to like creating content and like being consistent, it's the hardest thing to juggle all of these things. So that's why I wanted to share how you can do it without it feeling like overwhelming. And we're gonna go further in a minute. So Kristen also said, I have a hard time deciphering between what should be free, valuable free content and what I should charge for. Okay, so part of what my free content is, when I talk to you about the influencer playbook, which is my current lead magnet that's on my website, that lead magnet pretty much takes you through the first step of this. It takes you through the brand strategy phase, which I feel like is enough for someone, you know, in one sitting. I don't want to overwhelm people within the free content, but there should be so much about your program. This is why I say start with the program first. Start with what you're going to offer first, and we're going to talk about the sales page and then creating the lead magnet. Start with what you're selling. Start with what you're selling so that you can take a snippet of that and create a lead magnet for it. You understand what I'm saying? So I hope that's helpful. You can create a lead magnet for that. And Kristen says, yeah, my closet looks like I'm a teenager who doesn't care. Yep. You know, this could make it super easy for you. Create a small branded capsule wardrobe that works. So I hope you guys got a lot out of this. You showed up today because you want to have the influence to create more impact in the world. You also know that you're meant for something big and you're ready to put yourself out there. I get that just from reading you guys' comment and how you guys are engaging. Thank you guys. Thank you so much for the comments. And I'm glad that you're enjoying this training. You also are a big thinker and you're ready to play big and make your dream real. And I know that. And I know that this is your time, guys. Like, I know that if you've taken the time out of your day and you're still here and you're still commenting and you're still engaging, then this is your time to really make this real for you and take things to the next level. So remember, nothing that I shared here is theory. I used every single one of these strategies to create a sustainable brand, and consistent income has now become my new normal in my business. And I'm not anybody special. I don't have access to extra resources. I just created a system that works. I've tested it on myself. I've used it with a few clients now who have seen results. And I know that if I can do it, I know anybody can do it. I know you guys can do it. And so do you want to know how you can create sustainable income with your own crush-worthy brand in months? The way to do that is with Invisible to Influential, which is the agency edition. And this is a new program that I've created just for you guys. This is an exclusive one-on-one done for you program for creating a magnetic brand that floods your list with raving fans, builds massive trust and value, and quickly builds your income. So this is an exclusive offer. It's not available anywhere else. It's not on my website. You won't see it. There's no sales page for this. This is not on my website. This is not anywhere else. This is only by invite alone. So if you signed up for this webinar, this is the only way that you'll get access to this offer. And so this is a testimonial from one of my clients that I've worked with. And she's also worked with my team. And she says that, you know, working with us was completely effortless, enjoyable, and it screamed absolute pro. But that's not even the reason why I would recommend them to anyone. It's everything to do with the crazy amounts of talent, creative explosions of brilliance, and a knack for turning random thoughts and clippings into beautiful, streamlined, and an absolutely kick-ass brand. So this was a photo that we took after an intensive day that we had together. And yeah, she's been, you know, she's really seen some momentum in her business from working with us. And she didn't even get this entire program at the value that you're going to get it as. So in the first phase of us working together, we start off with a strategy intensive day, which is where we develop your brand strategy, as well as your consistent content strategy and your lead generation strategy. And we knock this out. Like, we go deep. We figure out how you're going to really start to build your list, how you're going to start to create consistent content that doesn't wear you out and stress you out, and you can do consistently. And we're going to really go deep into your message and your story and really figure out who it is that you want to connect with, who is your target market, and how do you want to connect with them. And then we'll go into the brand identity phase. And in the brand identity phase, we'll be creating custom logo suite for you, a branded mood board, and also a style guide for how to use your mood board, how to style it, how to use it around social media, as well as, you know, on your website, if you already have a website. And then we'll go into the brand social phase, which is where we'll develop your brand and social media graphic templates. So we'll create templates for you so that you don't have to always be creating new images for social media, new graphics for social media or Instagram or wherever. You can have templates that you can just plug and play. You just add some photos and add some text and you are good to go. We'll also be creating a branded social media profiles. So you will have your logos and all your things on there that represents you and fits your brand identity. You'll also get 30 on-brand stock photos. So this makes it even easier for you to create graphics, because you'll also have photos that are very aligned with your brand mood and, you know, what you want your brand to look like. And we can start with those stock photos. And in the brand design phase, we'll be designing your sales page, we'll be designing your landing page, as well as your lead magnet. So you'll get all those things designed professionally and looking very beautiful for your website for you to share with your audience and build your engagement. So as we implement your strategy, you'll also be able to have a place to send them. And your brand image will be developing your signature personal style description, developing your image, and as well we'll select 20 branded style we'll create your branded style capsules, which is 20 selections that we'll make for you. And so you can get started and decide, what pieces you want to implement into your brand so that you are always showing up on brand. If you want to, if this is especially great if you're like a speaker, if you want to go to if you want to start doing networking events, if you want to, start putting yourself out there and starting in terms of like showing up and always feeling confident in how you're representing yourself, this is something great to have. So by having us take care of the heavy lifting for you so you don't have to feel overwhelmed, and this can be easy breezy for you, you'll be able to create, this is what you'll be able to create. You'll be able to generate sustainable desire with an engagement strategy that builds trust and credibility. You'll be able to maximize your time with a sticky social media strategy that doesn't feel salesy. You'll be able to attract an audience that is loyal to your brand and an online presence that converts them to buyers with ease, because we're making this super easy for you, and a unique advantage with your signature style and presence that your audience relates and connects to. So here's all that you get. And this is what we'll be, me and my team will be doing for you. But you'll be working with me directly, and my team will be helping to implement all of these pieces for you. So you'll get the VIP day, which is strategy intensive with me, where we'll work on your strategy and create your brand, develop your brand strategy, your content strategy, your lead magnet strategy. You'll also get a brand mood board and style guide, custom logo suite, sales page design, landing page design, lead magnet design, social media graphic templates, branded social media profiles, 30 on-brand stock photos, and your signature personal style description, image development, 20 branded style selections. Whew, that is a lot. So, and it's still not the end of it. This is just the biggest package, but we also have some bonuses for you. So if you sign up, you also get the Client Vault, which is a private library of courses, trainings, cheat sheets, worksheets, printables. There's tons of stuff in here. I have audio trainings. I have video trainings. You'll get access to all of that stuff and new stuff that come in. You'll also get access to the Style Brand Masterclass, which is a masterclass that I did this year that got rave reviews. People love this masterclass, and it's actually a paid masterclass that I'm giving to you guys for free, as a bonus to this offer. And you'll get access to the live masterclass and Q&A. You'll also have lifetime access to the masterclass recordings. So any new, I plan to do these every year. So any new masterclasses that we do for Style Brand, you'll get access to that, and you also get access to the 50-page workbook. So you'll get instant access to these once you sign up. So in the beginning, I told you about Fierce Funnels, and so I want to talk to you more about this. This is the fast action bonus, and this is done for you as well. So as you start to build your list and from your content and using these strategies, and your list starts to grow, we want to help you create a sales funnel that doesn't feel salesy, that takes your audience from your free offer to the paid offer seamlessly. We'll be creating your landing pages for that, your emails, and in your funnels within your email system, as well as any Facebook ads. If you want to do advertising for it, we will do all your Facebook ads for you as well. And I have like a team that is really good at this stuff and does this well for me. I've gotten pretty good at this, but this is definitely a bonus that you want to get. So this is a fast action bonus. This is only available while you are on today. Okay, so while you are on this recording, while you are on this masterclass, this is the only time that you'll get access to this. And then we also have another bonus for you, which is a Black Friday bonus. This bonus will be available until Black Friday, and you will get access to all of my private file of contacts and referrals. So this is media people. This is PR, all my coaches, Facebook ads people, social media strategists, like all of the best people that I've met over the past few years who I know are like legit and the best in the business. So you will get access to all of those contacts as we work together. So are you ready to create your highly profitable and crush-worthy brand? I want to know, are you ready for this? I mean, this is a ton of stuff that you're going to get if you sign up for this program, Invisible to Influential. And that's what you want, you guys. No more being visible in 2018, okay? We're going to go into 2018 being as influential as we can. And that's what I want to help you do. So what is the investment? The total value of this program is $13,988. And that is like it's huge. Everything, you can definitely already see that. And all the stuff that we'll be creating for you, you're getting done for you, services, you get this for a steal. So your investment is $695, is $695 for the deposit and 3 installments of $695. And you can also save a few hundred by investing, paying in full at $2,500. So in order to do that, you go to LatanyaCarla.com/yes. And so when you go here, what will happen is you're not going to go right to a checkout page, because this is such a limited, because this is done for you and we're working with you one-on-one, there are only a few limited spots for this. So I want you guys to know that. We only have 5 spots for people to start now. And we'll be doing this. I'll be doing this presentation 3 times in total. So, you know, and there are many people signed up for this masterclass. So I want to make sure that you guys get access to it right away. If you sign up today, it's going to take you to a page to book a call with us. So book a brand assessment with me, where we'll talk about your brand and what your vision is for your brand. Because this is a one-on-one service, I want to know as much as I can about your brand and what you want it to do, and make sure that this is a good fit for you. So, you know, maybe you don't need all these elements, and maybe, you know, you're looking for something else. We definitely want to make sure that we provide what you need in the right space that you need it, and make sure that this is a good fit for everyone. So this is why we don't just let people buy right away, that we do set up the call. So you'll be taken to this page where, you know, you select your time zone, and then it'll bring up to a calendar where you select the date and time that works for you. And then you can put in your information. And once you do that, if you do that while we are on this call right now, I will be able to see it, and you will be able to get, if you decide to become a client with us, you will get access to the fast action bonus. So that's how that will work. Because you can't buy now, if you do sign up now, sign up for the call now, sign up to be able to chat with us and talk about what it is that you want. If this is something that you think is a good fit for you and something that you truly want for yourself, sign up for a call now so that you can put yourself in the running to get this fast action bonus, so you don't miss it. So here's the total value. This is the full program with everything that you're going to get. Just the program itself is worth $8,500 in value. Now, it may even be more than that, because you're getting tons of things designed and created for you. The bonuses, the client vault with all the information that I'm sharing in there, and all of the things that you'll have access to, is worth about $2,000. And you also get the Style Brand Masterclass, which is a paid class. And if you sign up now, you get the Black Friday bonus as well as the fast action bonus. Some of the things that are also in the client vault, just so you guys know, you'll get access to social media captions. So these are like templates that we've created for people who still don't know what to say in their captions, or don't know what to post in their captions. So just like I gave you some examples of how I post some of my captions in Instagram, it's similar to that. So they're very, ways to kind of let people know what you're working on, what you're doing, let people into your life a little bit, let them into what your brand is about, without being pushy or salesy. So we have some templates. You still have to mix them to fit what you do and how you do things, but you definitely have that to work with. And we also have the Instagram sales sequence. So you hear people talk all the time about how they make sales from Instagram, and like, how is that possible? How do you make sales from Instagram? And we have a sequence that shows you exactly how to do that. And I'll show you exactly how I was able to do that myself. So again, this program is 4 payments of $695. If you have any questions about the pricing, definitely get on a call with us so that we can talk to you about it and share more information about it. Go to LaTonyaCarla.com/yes, and you will be able to book a call with us. So let me get into some of the questions that I get a lot. Some people, you may be wondering, like, is this right for you if you're just starting out? This is perfect for you if you're just starting out. If you don't have anything, up already, if you're just in the beginning stages of building your brand, this is definitely something that would be very helpful to you, and just get you a jump start. Like, you want to take off. If you want to take off quickly, if you want to have the impact that you desire, and you want to not wait months or a year before you are seeing momentum with your brand, then this is something that you definitely want. Another one I get is, I don't have an online business, and that's okay. You don't have to have an online business for you to take advantage of this service. I've already showed you an example of a client of mine who does not have an online business and did not have an online presence, but wanted to do speaking. And so this helped them to actually position themselves and still do that. Do I need a social media following and an email list? This is a question I hear all the time. Yes, you do, because you can build a following on social media, but if one day Instagram goes away, or if, Periscope goes away, remember how everybody was on Periscope and built these huge audiences there, and then Facebook Live came and Periscope pretty much was no more. Like, it's still around, but not as engaging as it was before Facebook Live. And so you could end up losing all of that engagement. You could end up losing all of that audience that you've built, because they don't know where to find you after that. And so if you have an email list, they always know that you know where to find you, that they have access to you and can get in touch with you, even after there's no more Facebook or no more, Twitter or whatever. So, I want a website done or updated. This is another thing that some people say, because we're doing just the 3 pages for you, maybe you want a whole website done. And so we'll help you to still have, if you want a website done, you can talk to us about it. Definitely, you can talk to me about it when you book a call. For this program, we don't include the website design in it, but if you want to do that, we can definitely include that within your package. I want to buy now. So some people, you may be wondering, why can't you just buy it now if you want this? And like I said earlier, we want to make sure that, the people who sign up for this are a great fit for it, and that this is exactly what you need and what you want. And that since we're going to be working together one-on-one, we definitely want to build that relationship and get to know you more and what it is that you want from your business. So let me know if you have any questions, guys. We have about 15 minutes to answer any questions. 15 minutes for you to take advantage of this fast action bonus. And I will look into the comments and see who else has any questions. Iman said, can you clarify the name of the IG content planning app? Yes. So the name of that app is Unum. It's UNUM. Yes, that's right. What you have here, UNUM. So if you go to UNUM app, if you search that on Google, it'll show you what it looks like. You can also search it if you have an iPhone, because I have an iPhone. I don't know how you search it anyway, but search it on your phone. You should be able to get that. It is available on iPhones and Android. So whichever phone you have, you can get access to that. So you guys let me know if you have any other questions about this program. And let me know what you think about it. Let me know what you think about this program. If it's something that interests you or something that you would be interested in getting, I would like to know about it. So we'll take any questions that you guys have.